Look at that kitty. Just waking me up. A quiet little purr.
I'll see you in the next video.
Well,
We had a long day.
it's a pretty interesting little thing. One thing I noticed about Adam and Daphne is you never see Daphne in the car. Watch throughout the vlogs. Adam is a man of the church, and you never see her inside of Adam's car. In the Christian church, we feel that when a man and woman ride in a car together alone, that's an intimate thing. Now, they do show him in the hotel room, and she's sitting on the second bunk, and where he would stay, which is in, you know, he'd stay in his, I guess the bigger bed because he's 6'3" and 260 pounds, but you never see her in the car, which I think is interesting. Anyway. Because that's what I was watching. I was like, is she in the car with him? But she was in the room. But then someone else could have been in the room too. So we don't know. But a Christian's never supposed to show things like that to a certain degree. Maybe there's other footage. Sorry, I was eating a cracker. Maybe there's other footage, you know, where she's in the car. But he never showed that. Interesting. I don't get to watch the Daphne show very much, but I'm glad that she has her own show. She made a comment about Linda to me when she was Natalie Travels. She said, "You're so lucky to have Linda," which I thought was nice. She said that. But you got to be careful, you know, a little bit. Because a lot of people don't have those kinds of things. And they don't get to go to like Disney World. Some people do. Trust me. Some people will get to go on that galactic cruise. And that's great. It looks a lot of fun. And there's actors. I'm all for it. But we have to be careful because we don't know all about Adam. You know, we don't know everything about him. We only know when he presents. According to the Daphne show, I'm confused because I'm these things are like, it's very Roman. We've gone to like a Roman age because the Romans were very real. They would do this kind of stuff. The Greeks were like, it was more fiction. It was supposed to be fiction. There were fictional stories. And the Romans started taking everything very serious and making it very hyper real. So it's a difference between Greek and Rome. As in the style of what's being presented. You know, you're seeing supposedly this real person named Daphne, which I thought her name was Natalie Travels. This real person named Adam Williams, which I thought was Adam Devine, but it's Adam Williams, from what I know. Because JWW is his father, and that ends in W, which is Williams. It's hard to find out. It's kind of reality, MTV. If you've seen, what is it called? The MTV show. Sorry, I went on like a 2.5 hour hike. The MTV show, oh, I remember it now. There's Puck and all of that stuff. It's kind of what they have done. The Real Life or something? The Real World. Yeah, The Real World. So we're seeing what we think is real, we don't know. And we're not going to ask them to mail us paperwork on how legit, you know, they are. You know, we're not going to ask for, you know, if it does turn into a marriage, we're not going to ask for paperwork. You never really know, you know. That's the weird thing about vlogging. You don't know how much of it is real or not. You assume that it's real, but you don't know exactly the whole aspect of it all. Like, you assume that these people are really a couple, but I don't know. You know, you don't really know. Maybe there's ways that you can tell. Maybe there's hints, but it looks cool. I don't even know how to say it. The Galactic Cruise. Galactic. It's a Star Wars cruise. See if I can even find it. Show what I'm talking about. They went on like a indoor cruise. Here it is right here. It's kind of king of comedy for me. There it is. The first time staying on the Galactic Star Cruiser, okay? So it's kind of interactive, real, you know, it's like a real kind of experience where you're really a part of Star Wars on a Galactic Star Cruiser, you know. Galactic Star Cruiser. Galactic. That word is very difficult. Galactic Star Cruiser. Anyway, I got to get going here pretty soon. All right, Kitty. It's your job to hold down the fort. I'm going to pray and get the show down just to 30 minutes. And we're headed to Apple. Over here. Kitty. Eyeline's over here. There we go. Meow, meow. Okay, Kitty. Stay out of that back room. You got the scratching post, your cat condo, and Whale Shark Kitty. And there's various toys hidden under objects. Play and have fun. Don't do too much. Like usually. Just kind of lay there. If you want to do some exercises, that's fine too. But I would suggest you get off the recliner and walk around in circles. Maybe scratch the scratch post. All right? $176,330 miles on the speedometer, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, May 6, 2023. And welcome to the Please Subscribe show. I'm your host, moi, Cole Spivey. Moi kind of means me in French. And we're going to head to Apple. Maybe look at the iPadPro, talk around, if that's something you can do. Talk about throughout the Apple store. And I'm going to work at trying to get the show to about 30 minutes. Chewy, calm down. I'll be there in a minute. Chewy! Goodness gracious. Critter, you okay? All right. We're going to Apple. All right, so we are headed to Apple. Right there is Flower Child. Right over that way, behind those trees. It's actually a really good place to pick up a salad or maybe like a chicken sandwich. But for right now, we're going to Apple, which is right there, right next to Starbucks. And Williams-Sonoma, which is California. And they're all the way from California. Did y'all hear about that guy who drove into Apple? His foot got stuck. And he drove his car into Apple and had to go to court. It's a true story. Okay, this is the iMac, and this is ideal. It's not touch, so no iMacs are touch screen, but they do have a mouse. Let's see if we have this one right here. Fine, anybody? Okay. First, what we're gonna do is look at system settings. All right, system settings. Now we're gonna look at general right here. Next, we're gonna look at that right there. We're dealing with something pretty good here. That's more than what I can do on the phone. Look at this right here. 494 gigabytes. Roughly 500 gigabytes, probably. I'll get the information on it though.
And then they can go up because there's different models of pros.
So would you suggest the Pro?
I recommend a laptop over a desktop just because you get the portability.
This amount right here.
So these are both of your access to your iPad
On the Mac Pro.
512. They actually give more options online. I want to say it goes up to something insane like
3,000, well it's 3,500.
Oh, you're talking about like the cost?
We're talking about the cost. What are you getting with that? You're getting a terabyte.
Yeah.
And that's with the Mac Pro, the MacBook Pro.
Yeah. Tech specs. 14-inch or 16-inch? The size of
I don't know, let's just go with what we're looking at.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at the price on what we're looking at.
So the prices are different for the 14-inch, so you may want to take a picture of that.
I am.
Okay.
What about the one that with terabyte? What's going to be the processor?
It's going to be the, let me switch it back because it was this one.
That's what I was looking at.
The M2 Max.
Okay. Now there's the M2. They're actually switching on the iPro from M2 to M1.
Terabyte. The thing with this one is that it
174 a month.
it still has the touch bar, and then it also isn't going to have all the ports that one has. I'm not sure like how important your ports are to you.
Yeah, that's something I was. Okay, that's the Pro.
Yeah.
And it has 2 terabytes.
Yes, it can go all the way up to 2 terabytes.
And touchscreen too.
Yeah, touchscreen.
So would you recommend this over the desktop?
Personally, yes, because
You would.
of its like
That's what the other guy said.
convenience. Yeah, I would say because of convenience. The desktop really limits you to your home space, or where. Yeah, I guess wherever.
It's not
you
as
house
mobile.
it. Yeah, not as.
But this can
mobile.
store up to 2 terabytes.
Yes.
And we're talking about storage. We're not talking about RAM.
Yes, we're talking about storage. So the RAM on this one is. Hang on, let me find it. Where is it? It's one of these guys. 8-core CPU.
8-core, 10-core, 16-core.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. 8 gigabytes of RAM.
Okay.
And then for the
how much on the storage?
For the 1 terabyte or the 2 terabyte, you actually get 16 gigabytes of RAM.
So you're getting 8 gigabytes on RAM for basically like your chalkboard. That's what you're using, all your applications, everything.
Right.
And then you're dealing with 2 terabytes of storage for storing like footage or whatever it may be.
USB-C port, so it gives you have a port right here, which is USB-C. But basically, you could plug in, you can charge from here. If you have external hard drive, you can plug it in there. Anything that has USB-C, you can plug it into that port. So it's the same as this guy right here.
Does the exact same thing this does.
Yeah.
So if I want to store something, I can just go through here.
Yes.
So if I left this at home, I would still have no problem. I can still use this.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Same thing with charging, and this for charging.
Yes.
Yep. So you're going to be able to download from this device and that device. And you'll be able to charge from here and download here, or charge here and download here. They do the same. But you have to remember to take this with you, because it's done with magnets.
Yeah, it's
Right here, there's the magnets. And that information can travel right through here. That is pretty amazing. This iPad Air, does it show the storage?
Yeah, so these are the 2 storage options, only 64 and 256.
Okay, this is more like on the go, like a bigger version of your phone.
Yeah, definitely. Although it does have the M1 processor in it, the M1 chip, and that is the same
It does have memory. Or actually, it has storage.
Yeah,
Has storage,
so
not memory. Okay.
iPad Air can be docked on this type of
At least you have a passport that goes in there.
Yeah.
It could be memory. I think they do it right here. They do that so that they can have a storage on it. If you look at it right here, like that, that's probably going to go onto a passport.
Yeah, that does.
Or it can even connect to a phone or something like that. I don't know, like a future phone. That's what this pretty much is right here. This looks like some kind of HomePod Mini, known as the HomePod. But I guess this would be it right here. I'm trying to figure out what this device is, if this is supposed to be in the home as part of the device. It just has HomePod and the HomePod Mini, this thing. Probably it's a stationary thing that you can have. Oh. Hey Siri. This is just a demo. Probably if this was on, it'd be very similar to Amazon. I forgot what they call it. The Amazon device. Amazon has something similar. I don't know if they have a stationary thing that's like this, but they have something you can talk to that's similar to this. This is just known as HomePod. Very similar device. So you can talk to it. Like, open the garage. Someone's coming in. Big sound, so it's like a Bluetooth speaker. I didn't even know they had it. Amazon has something similar, but you know what it's called. It's in my screenplay, Grace. I'm gonna look that up. So Amazon has the Echo Dot, and this is the Pod. So it's Apple Pod. And the Echo Dot is similar. But there's another name for the Amazon device too. So with Apple, it's HomePod. With Amazon, it's Echo Dot. And with Google, it's Home. So Google Home, this is Apple Pod, or HomePod is what they call it. So they use the word home, so HomePod, and then there's the Echo Dot. But there's another name for the Amazon device as well that you can talk to. And I'm looking it up right now. See if I can find it. This is all Apple right here. The whole store is Apple. Figured it out. It's called Alexa. It's part of the Echo Dot on Amazon. This is not Alexa. This is known as HomePod. Sorry, I got my glasses on. HomePod. The other version would be Echo Alexa. So Alexa's connected to the Echo Dot. Then your third version is going to be the Google Home. HomePod is probably going to be awesome. I didn't even know it existed. But this is some kind of stationary thing that goes with it. It advertises the HomePod and the Mini. So what we're dealing with is the HomePod. Here's some legal stuff right here. Second generation and first generation HomePod. Must be what they're dealing with. Multiple HomePod speakers, AirPlay. It works with AirPlay software. It requires one U equipped iPhone running an iOS 16.2 or later. Creating HomePod stereo pair requires two of the same model HomePod speakers and the HomePod MIDI and two HomePod. See if I get the last part of it. Requires a HomeKit or what's known as Mattered Enable Accessories, Smart Home Accessories sold separately. And here's the at a glance right here, which is probably what I'll name it. HomePod Family at a glance. From $99 to $299. You can just call out hi or hey Siri is how they say it. Hey Siri. What's the weather like tonight? And it'll just start talking through this right here. Big sound, compact size. It's like, hey Siri, open the garage. It probably does similar to Alexa, because Alexa can do things like turn lights on. Same thing with the Echo Dot. Big sound, compact size. So it's a Bluetooth speaker. And here's all some of the basic apps. Even you can check your Apple Maps. It's pretty cool. I don't know if they give an example of it though.
No, this is the only black one they have. That is literally the only black one, the big one. But not working as well, but we have it.
So it's not turned on or charged. These are the chargers in the back are done by battery. I don't know why, that's what they told me last time I was here. So things can run out. They have to recharge them. Home iPod.
Yes.
Can you do things like turn lights on?
Yeah, I do it
In your
all
home?
the time.
Really?
I use Siri.
Like open your garage?
Yeah, if you have a
Okay.
garage door open. Yep.
Awesome. So you can just say like, lock the doors, because you can have smart locks. That's
My
great.
house is full of smart locks.
This is also something I considered buying. This is gonna be for Apple TV. TV 4K. I don't know what generation it is though, it might say it. But it's going at $149. It's part of the Apple Home Hub with 4K. Apple TV 4K.
If anything, it would be here. Whatever it would be.
All right, so it's not gonna. It doesn't say. Okay, so you can use Ethernet.
Correct.
To connect.
There's a specific model. I think it's gonna be.
What generation would it be if it was brand new?
I'd have to double check. Give me one moment.
Yeah, if you could find out, that'd be cool. Recent generation of that is. He can just access information. You go over this thing right here, pull it out, and he's got himself a little Apple Mac. He's looking up some information about what generation on the TV, the 4K, what is going to be. Okay, this is the third generation is what we're being told, which is 2022 publication. The third generation of Apple TV right here.
So, which should have the A15 chip and the newer Siri remote, which offers a USB-C charger and also touch controls, power button. Also, okay, HDMI.
They do want you to connect by HDMI, and you can use Ethernet to connect to your Wi-Fi router or your router. You can use an Ethernet, but they do want you to use basically like HDMI connection to your television.
Physical connection to it, so
Wi-Fi or Ethernet, or Wi-Fi and Ethernet.
Wi-Fi and Ethernet.
Okay. So your Ethernet cord is going to go into your router.
Yes.
And then your HDMI, is it going to connect, or is it going to connect only wirelessly?
It would connect through HDMI.
HDMI. It just doesn't say it.
Yeah.
But it's going to have HDMI in it, or do you have to buy your HDMI?
You would have to have an HDMI cord with you.
All right. So a lot of information. The 4K Apple TV, well, it's Apple TV device. Now they do Wi-Fi and Ethernet. There was a time they just did Wi-Fi only. He was saying because people didn't care about the speed, but if you want the speed, you're going to need the Ethernet cable, or it's like an Ethernet plug. It almost looks like those old telephone plugs, but it's a thicker end. Now, going back, you are going to need Wi-Fi, so you have to connect it with Wi-Fi. You can check your television, he said, to see if your television is 4K compatible, because the fourth generation, which is the Apple TV fourth generation, which is what they're selling, is 4K compatible. So you get to watch things clearer. 4K is higher resolution. It looks more real, kind of a cool thing. So check it out. Also, the Home Pod, you need to explore your Home app on your phone, which you go through utilities and it'll be there. Let's see what else. Oh, right. They were suggesting the iPad Pro to me. So they were like, you should check out the iPad Pro. And I was looking at the iMac desktop, and they're like, well, the iPad Pro is compatible, meaning it's mobile and it's more compatible. Now they're having what looks like 3 connections on your iPad Pro, which is basically the regular connection where you take the USB and it connects in, or there's another one that has a bar that's underneath it. It'll connect through the backing that holds the iPad Pro. That's cool. And then they have these 3 little magnets on the back of the new ones. They'll actually connect in. And one of them said that that's how it transfers data in 2 different ways. It'll transfer it to the sidebar and through the magnet. So it goes through on the back thing where it actually will charge it as you're transferring data. And you can transfer data through the regular plug, you know, the side plug that goes into your iPhone. Well, it has the same thing on the iPad Pro. So it's quicker and more mobile. And you can charge while you're doing it. If you went to college, you'll understand that.
Add nothing, subtract nothing. 2 wrongs don't make a right, nor subtract anything from my life and my vlog. ... dissolve to white. Dissolve to white.